This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, first produced in 2008 and weekly since then. Today's edition is dated October 10, 2025. The Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup is synonymous with excellence and ranks among the most impressive events on the yachting calendar. Organized by the Yacht Club Costa Smeralda in collaboration with the International Maxi Association, it offers crews a spectacular race setting in the emerald waters of northeast Sardinia, with varied conditions and testing courses. Extreme winds restricted racing in this year's edition, but the patience and perseverance of the crews and the race committee made it possible for a spectacular conclusion, with good weather for competition on the final day.
The Rolex Middle Sea Race is an offshore challenge like no other. A 606 nautical mile odyssey that tests the spirit as well as the skill of every competitor, where teamwork is central to any accomplishment as sailors strive for one of sailing's greatest prizes, around one of the sport's most beguiling racetracks. First held in 1968, Rolex has partnered both the race and its organiser, Royal Malta Yacht Club, since 2002. The circular route, starting from the Maltese capital Valletta, passes through the Strait of Messina, around Stromboli to Favignana in western Sicily, before taking in the islands of Pantelleria and Lampedusa, before returning to Malta. The geography is exceptional. From Grand Harbour, the two active volcanoes of Etna and Stromboli, the rugged beauty of the Aeolian and Egadi Islands, and the isolated outposts of Pantelleria and Lampedusa. There is close connection with nature throughout, with spellbinding scenery. Each edition reinforces the race's reputation as one of the most technically demanding and tactically rich offshore contests in the world, with conditions that can transition from benign to ferocious in the blink of an eye. The rewards for completing the course are both tangible and uplifting. This year's exceptional fleet includes recent winners, proven contenders, and historic competitors. The 46th edition of the Rolex Middle Sea Race commences on Saturday, October 18th.
After 4 days of uncertain weather, resulting in only 3 races, the 2025 Melges 24 World Championship, organized by the Yacht Club Adriaco in collaboration with the International Melges 24 Class Association and with the support of the Italian Melges 24 Class, delivered its verdict on the final day.
Woo! Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man, we go higher. It's time to go higher. Let's take this thing higher.
Not expecting this outcome. It was a nail-biting finish until the last race. We really counted the boats, how much is in between us and Sentinel, our biggest competitor at this time. And yeah, we enjoyed this week in Trieste.
On the final day of the 5.5-meter French Open in Cannes, the wind died initially but then picked up to 15 to 18 knots, leading to 2 races where New Moon 3, BAH25, with an unbeatable lead, won the first race, and then won the final race as well to claim the overall title. On October 26th, the TRANSAT CAFÉ Elor will be off to a great start. In the meantime, on board, experience the intensity of a start alongside Anthony Marchand, navigator, and Julien Villian, his co-navigator.
On est à 1 mille de la ligne.
Il faut lancer plus vite que ce qu'on pense. Un peu.
Faut plus que Bank Pop SVR ils avancent sur
Je
nous.
relofe alors. Attends, j'oublie ce démo. J'essaye de lancer.
Allez, lock-le, lock-le.
On a parlé du pavillon.
15. Je peux le faire.
Ouais, t'es bien pour la bouée.
3, 2, 1, top, départ de 24 heures, ultime.
Vas-y, lance bien de... Bon départ, bon départ.
Ultime, bon populaire, grand souhait. Bon départ.
Allez, rapide, on veut voler. C'est bien, Anto.
J'ai l'impression qu'on a un poil trop écarté en J2, mais je suis pas sûr.
Ouais, je suis d'accord.
Day 8 in Sylt was one for the history books as the freestylers lit up the North Sea in perfect conditions. Leonard Neubauer was unstoppable, smashing the 40-point barrier in every heat and landing the first ever contest triple kilo on his way to victory in the single elimination. He sealed the win in the final with 44.2 points, edging Yentel Kayas, who stays firmly on course for a third world title.
Good morning from day number 8 here in Sylt for the Citroën Windsurfing World Cup. It has just turned 7 a.m. and we have already got the skippers. Freestyle looks like the call. With offshore winds and hardly any wind on the inside, the decision was made to run it on the outside. But how could they judge? Well, we judged from both drones today, a first ever on the world tour, and it worked perfectly. 3, 2, 1, up! Every move in 4K, and we saw some of the biggest moves in freestyle windsurfing. New move after new move. A full highest heat score we've ever seen from Leonard Neubauer, pulling off a perfect triple culo. So before we talk about the top 4, we've got to talk about Takuma Sugi. Yes, the Japanese rider was on fire today, and he even took down an on-form Adrian Bosson in the early rounds. So coming into Sylt 2025, there was 5 riders that had a good chance at a world title. Who would make it to the final 4 spots? Well, all 4 from the top 5 made it. One guy missing out, Takumi, who went down to an on-fire Dieter van der Eycken, who was sailing absolutely amazing today. So then it was left for the top 4 seeds to make it to the semi-finals. We had Jentel Kers going to Steven van Broekhoven, and we had Leonard Neubauer going against Jacopo Testa. So with all the top riders on fire today, the big matchup in the semi-finals was Leonard Neubauer against Jacopo Testa, because Jacopo Testa ended pretty much Leonard Neubauer's dreams of a world title by taking it down in Furta. Who would get this win? Well, this time it was Leonard Neubauer. He was on cruise control today and just pumping out all the big moves, making it through to the final. Who would he go against? So first up, the battle for the podium. Steven van Broekhoven going against Jacopo Testa. A really tight battle, and it came down to the last move with the buzzer on the heat. And this time it was Jacopo Testa that took the 3rd place, just 0.5 ahead of Steven van Broekhoven. Now on to the final. Jentel Kers going against Leonard Neubauer. Jentel, by just making this final, means he has one hand on the world title, but he still wanted the event win. Leonard Neubauer, due to that 5th in Furta, means he can't win the world title, but he still wanted the event win. Who would get it? Both riders on fire, both of them pushing till the end. But it was Leonard Neubauer who wins the single elimination with an absolutely epic performance.
Yeah, I would say the most consistent, the most I've ever enjoyed it as well. Those go hand in hand. I've just realized the last couple of years, and I'm just so happy to make it.
So that's it for today. What a day that was. Let's hope the forecast comes through tomorrow and we can get the waves on.
Day 6 of the 2025 ILCA Master World Championships in Formia proved to be one of the longest and most demanding days on the water. The fleets launched under light and unstable conditions, with the AP Delta signal at 2 p.m. starting an afternoon of patient waiting and tactical challenges.
Patience is a big part of sailing. Hours can pass on the water before the race begins, but the focus must never fade. Today was one of those long days where the fleet had to hold the concentration for a lot of hours before the race started. Only one race was completed, but this is part of our sport. Resilience counts as much as speed.
Norway has taken the top spot in the women's skiff at the end of Day 2 of the 49er FX World Championships. Pia Dahl Andersen and Nora Edlund have taken a 2-point lead from the Spanish team, who were on top at the start of the day. But there's only 4 points splitting the top for teams from Norway, Spain, Australia and Canada.
It's Day 2 at the 49er FX and NACRA 17 World Championships. Let's look at the highlights of all the action in Cagliari, Sardinia. With the sea breeze taking a while to set in, we took the opportunity to speak to some of the sailors combining their 49er sailing with SailGP.
SailGP is very restricted into how many days we can sail, so it's important for us to stay sharp between events, and I think the 49er fleet at the moment, in terms of one design Olympic sailing, is really pushing us to get to the next level. So it's cool to combine both. A lot of things in both that are positive for each other. Learning as quick as possible, finding solution, and yeah, try and improve every day.
Soon enough, it was time to get on the water. first up to complete their races were the 49er men. It was a strong showing from the Polish today, with Mikołaj Staniul and Jakub Storch taking the top spot in the overall rankings. In the women's 49er FX, it's tied at the top, with 4 boats within 4 points of each other. In the lead after 6 races are Pia Dahl Andersen and Nora Edlund from Norway. The NACRA 17 fleet had an extra important day today as their qualifying series came to an end and only the top 20 boats advancing into the Gold fleet. Keeping their lead, but only just, from yesterday, are Great Britain's John Gimpson and Anna Burnett.
I'm old and wise enough not to be too excited because when it just comes down to being one race, I think we start the regatta tomorrow and we chip away. It's always nice to win the first race, is kind of how I view it.
There's plenty more action and sailing lined up tomorrow. We'll be back to you for day 3.
Riccardo Pianosi and Jesse Campman resisted enormous pressure in the medal series to become the 2025 Formula Kite World Champions. After a week of drama, it was a climactic finale on day 6 of the Formula Kite World Championships in Quartu Sant'Elena, Sardinia,